Good afternoon. We're here for the mayor's budget discussion on the criminal justice planning unit. Is that what it is?
The word unit.
Okay. All right.
It's criminal justice.
I've been
planning.
around for criminal justice planning, and before we start, I've been offering a couple of words, and I'll do that again. As you know, the last couple of years we've had significant revenue increases that have allowed us to do enhancements, budget enhancements to most departments. This year, that's not likely to be the case. We'll have an increase in revenue, but it won't be quite as much as prior years. Nevertheless, we're going to stick with our current tax rate and continue to provide the same services within our existing revenues. So we've asked every office or department to come with a status quo budget. And I know that's been communicated to you by the finance department. And as I look here, I'm pretty sure you did that. I am joined this afternoon by the finance director, Ms. Talia Lomax O'Neill, and by the city's chief strategy officer, Brian Kelsey. And so if you can give us a brief presentation, and then we might have a question or two.
First, I want to thank you for having us here.
Sure.
We haven't been here in a while. I'm Donna Blackburn-Jones, Director of Criminal Justice Planning, and this is Samantha Taylor, my administrative assistant. Hopefully I'll be short and sweet and fast since I know it's been a long day. But I want to take you back to 1999 to begin with, which in August and September, the Titans football stadium opened for the first game, and Mayor Purcell took office. And during that time period, the police were out very actively cleaning the streets up to make sure that all the fans that were coming, and we'd have a great weekend for the first Titans football game. But Davidson County was under a federal lawsuit back then for jail overcrowding, and with all the arrests, we went over our capacity for 5 days in a row. So when Mayor Purcell took office in September, one of the first things he had to do was go in front of the federal court to say we went over the agreement of keeping our capacity under a certain level. So coming up to 2003, between that time, Mayor Purcell hired a consultant that made a recommendation to have a department that was independent from any other department to provide objective data to the criminal justice system. So in 2003, an ordinance was passed that formed criminal justice planning. Since then,
I probably voted for it.
I did.
If I'm thinking back,
and maybe that's where we remember each other. But back then, they funded 2 data analysts from our department and an administrative person. So we have 4 people in criminal justice planning. I don't think I've ever really asked for much more in all these years during the budget hearings. But after the ordinance was passed, I was hired as director and formed the department. There's 2 entities that come over criminal justice planning, which is the advisory board, which you met most of the players last week in your meeting. And the other meeting is a criminal justice steering committee, which includes you. So my mission is to provide accurate and timely data to the criminal justice management to make informed financial decisions for the criminal justice system. So as I watched the budget hearings this morning, I kept hearing my numbers, and when they would tell you something that, that's something that we provided. So, and I think I heard one department mention our name. So that's the first mission, and the other mission is to bring all the players together on a regular basis so that we can meet and discuss any issues that are going on within the system. Besides being formed to do projections on the criminal justice system, I created the department to do quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily current activity reports on the criminal justice system. But the one thing I think that is more interesting than just the regular type reports is that we do ad hocs. And in 2017, we provided about 45 ad hocs, but since the beginning, we have done over 800 ad hocs for the system. And those really are the reports, too, that help the people make decisions on what they need in their own departments. We've been very active in helping with the Steering Clear PIP that they did. We provided the data that when Dawn Diener initially wrote her PIP, we provided the data for her. We've been very active in the bail reform program that they're doing. The legal has been working with the Civil Rights Corps to keep our bail system, again, in an efficient manner to help people that shouldn't be in jail, that they get out on bond or pretrial. And then we also was involved in the pretrial release grant that Dawn Diener got for the pretrial release program for the Sheriff's Office. We've also been very involved in the domestic violence study that was done under Carl Dean, which resulted in the Office of Family Safety. So our history goes back for several years on all the different types of ad hoc reports that we've done that hopefully the different people that have applied for the grant, started the programs, have used to come to you and say, this is the budget we need to run these programs. And also, actually, outside of Metro, several universities have contacted us to do research for different areas also. Most recently, someone from the University of Connecticut that's doing a project on domestic violence. So that's my office in a nutshell. We do reports for the criminal justice system. So in closing, I just want to say that I think my program is very successful. And the main thing that we do is that we do provide these reports to these people, and hopefully they use them to come to you to make their money more useful and appropriate uses for the citizens of Davidson County.
Okay. I know your budget is lean, so I'm just going to ask a different kind of question.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, what types of, what are you putting out there on your website in terms of data, any of your reports and things like that, are there opportunities for open data? Are there, what types of information do you have that our listening audience who might say, I want to know what types of data she has, I'm interested in that? How would they find you and your data points?
Well, we do have a website with Metro, so they could go to Metro and find us under Criminal Justice Planning and our website. We put a lot of our regular type reports on there, our annual projection report, where we're looking to see how many jail beds that we need for Davidson County. We put some of the regular reports on there. One is called the Criminal Justice Report, which shows from arrest to final disposition on how many people are getting arrested, how many people are getting out on pretrial or bond, how long it takes to be bound over to the grand jury if the case is going to criminal court, how long it takes to be disposed in general sessions or in criminal court. So it's a management type report for, again, the players in the criminal justice system to use to plan their.
Brian, she has every piece of data you can imagine.
I wish we had, the
opportunities.
The function you can provide to, I think, take a data-driven approach to some of these questions that come up. I wish we had units like this in more departments. It's a great resource to have available. You guys do a really good job given the resources you're allocated.
Well, thank you. I think it's important that, I know other departments do their own data, but as I keep hearing, numbers don't lie. So I think it's really important to have an independent, objective department that does this. And years ago, I looked for different reasons to see what other states were doing something like this, and there basically weren't other local programs. There's some programs like this at a state level, but for local governments, we were very unique. And I always told Mayor Purcell it was really a feather in his hat because of all the data that we made available to the departments.
Well, I will acknowledge that Councilman DaCosta Hastings has joined us here from District 2. So thank you for coming, and thank you for coming for your budget hearing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.